My dear children, good morning. You might have enjoyed Raksha Bandhan, isn't it? Are you all happy now? Fine. Now, children, once again you have to pay complete attention towards learning because we are going to teach you very interesting lesson, that is every drop counts, chapter 6. The name of the chapter, Every Drop Counts, itself has a deep meaning. It denotes importance of even a single drop of water, though we all ignore it. Look at the drop of water. How crystal clear they are. Every drop has such a great value. So children, be attentive and learn the entire lesson. We are all going to make this chapter more interesting by narrating a short story about King Gharsi of Jaisalmer and the story of rituals related to water. Now children, look at the objectives or main points which we are going to cover in this lesson. They are water storage techniques in earlier days, source of water in olden days and modern days, importance of water, facts about Gharsisa Lake, conservation of water, rainwater harvesting and its importance, and customs related to water. And moreover, you have to learn about the slogans and posters on saving water. Now children, look at the beautiful view. What is it? Can you see the water falling from top? It looks white. How nice and beautiful, isn't it? Children, about 3/4 of our earth is covered with water, but 97% of water present in oceans and seas is salty. It cannot be used for drinking or for household purposes. Only 3% of the earth's water is fresh water. Human beings use this water for various purposes like drinking, cooking, cleaning, bathing, washing, etc. Similarly, plants, birds, animals too need water to survive on earth. There will be no life on earth without water. Now, let us learn about water storage techniques in earlier days. Look at the picture. Let us know about the different techniques and names of water bodies in olden times which are still present. Some are natural and some are man-made. One such piece of marvelous techniques to store water some centuries ago was the step well or the Baudi. Look at the Baudi closely. This is man-made. This step well is unique because it has steps on the 4 sides. In the center, there is a large storage of water. In olden days, rulers or kings made such Baudis so that a number of people can reach to the water at a time. If you look closely, you can see each side there are 2 sets of steps. One point is entry point and the other one is the exit, that is to go out from the well. That is how people systematically collected water without any rush or chaos or dissatisfaction. Moreover, everyone can reach to the water without equipments like rope, pulley or wheel. So, this technique was well appreciated. Look at the picture, children. The pond is also a place where we find water. It is natural. During summer, some ponds dry up. It has fresh water which can be cleaned and used for drinking. Now, the lake is also a fresh water, natural or man-made water source. Here, the people of the village take this water for various purposes. The next is the well. It is man-made. In villages, mostly people dig a deep, wide hole to take out the water which is trapped under the soil. This water is also fresh but can be used by cleaning for various purposes. Look, this is how we get water at home. Now, some children are going to share some personal experiences with you. Listen and try to understand. You can enjoy it too.
A gel-board water tanker comes to our colony twice a day. We have to stand in a long queue to get water from the tanker. People at times have fights over water.
We fill water from the well. The nearby well dried up a year ago. Now we have to walk too far to reach to the water. We are not allowed to take water from some of the wells because of our caste. I am unhappy. We get water at home for half an hour. We fill this in the tank to use all day. Sometimes it is dirty. We get water from our taps all day long and it is easily available.
There is a hand pump nearby, but the water that we get from it is salty. We have to buy water for drinking. We have put a pump directly into Gelbot pipeline. Now we don't have any problem. We have put a motor to pump up the water from the bore well, but there is no electricity. So what do we do?
We get water from the canal itself. I'm so happy.
Well, do you know, children, who was Al-Biruni? Al-Biruni was a traveler who came to our India more than thousands years ago. He came from Uzbekistan. He visited many places in our India and he noted down his observation in his diary. He wrote specially about those things that he found very different from his own country. Here is a part of which he wrote about the ponds of that time. The people here are very skilled at making ponds. My countrymen would be surprised to see them. They pile up huge rocks and join them with the iron rods to build chabutaras. Chabutaras means raised platforms all around the lake. Between these, there are rows of long staircases going up and down. The steps are going up and coming down are separate, so there is less crowding. Today, when we study history, we can learn a lot about those days from the writings of Al-Biruni. This stamp came out in 1973, 1000 years after his birth.